Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, a bit of an improvement compared to yesterday, even though temperatures didn't say so. But we did see some sun today. And look at this beautiful shot from our Sky-Fi tower camera overlooking Lake Chelan, and a dusting of snow up that way. Not as much as that we had in parts of at least Douglas County a couple of days ago, but still a little bit of snow there, and more is on the way. But first, let's get to these cold temperatures. We did see some cold ones this morning with lows around 15, and look at those lows tomorrow morning. 12 degrees here in the Wenatchee area, all the way down to 4 below up in Winthrop, 9 in Oroville, and Spokane will be around 13 degrees. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon, folks. We're going to see these cold temperatures for at least the next week or so. And there's a storm system to tell you about, and we'll do that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Interstate 90 near Vantage was down to one lane in each direction for several hours Monday after a semi hit the center barrier, leading to a multi-vehicle collision. Monday's snowstorm wreaked havoc for motorists in the Columbia Basin with multiple crashes and spinouts. And speaking of winter driving, studded snow tires would be banned starting in the year 2025 under a bill unveiled this week in the Washington State Legislature. But first, we begin tonight. The man accused of killing Quincy woman Jill Sundberg after an argument at an RV park in George believes she was a police informant, prosecutors suggested Monday. That was at the first-degree murder trial of Gustavio Tapia Rodriguez. The Grant County Superior Court trial for Rodriguez, 41-year-old and a legal immigrant, is expected to continue through the week. The 31-year-old Sundberg was shot execution style more than a dozen times back in December of 2016 in a remote area off Old Vantage Highway near George. The Columbia Basin Herald reported that testimony Monday indicated Sundberg was in a trailer in George with several men, including Rodriguez, and all were smoking methamphetamine when an argument broke out. Sundberg was dragged from the trailer and driven to the location where her body was found, prosecutors said. A note written in Spanish was printed to her body with a steak knife. The note indicated her death is what happens to people who do not show respect to the Mexican Gulf drug cartel. Two other men have already pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the case and will testify against Rodriguez. Interstate 90 near Vantage was down to one lane in each direction for several hours on Monday after a semi hit the center barrier, leading to a multi-vehicle collision. 5 people and 2 passenger vehicles involved were transported to the hospital, but only 2 people were injured and the others taken as a precaution, that according to John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol. One person suffered an apparent broken leg, believed to be the most serious injury. Just before 2 p.m., the westbound semi lost control and then hit the center concrete Jersey barrier. The semi's tractor jumped over the barrier and jackknifed, hitting 2 vehicles. Those passenger cars were then hit by another semi, Bryant said. He said the accident remains under investigation and it's uncertain if it was a weather-related accident. Monday's snowstorm wreaked havoc for motorists in the Columbia Basin with multiple crashes and spinouts. Trooper John Bryant posted these images on State Route 24 outside of Othello, where an injury collision involving a semi occurred last night. Bryant said the drifting snow caused whiteout conditions leading to several accidents. Traffic on all major highways in Grant, Kittitas, and Yakima counties was slowed or stopped completely. Well, speaking of winter driving, studded snow tires would be banned starting in the year 2025 under a bill unveiled this week in the Washington State Legislature. The measure has been sent to the House Committee on Transportation. The DOT has recommended alternatives to studded tires due to roadway damage they cause. Opponents of the bill contend that studless tires are good for powder snow and very cold, hard ice below about 8 degrees, but less effective in areas where black ice is prevalent. House Bill 1309 would also replace the current $5 fee with a $100 purchase fee for new studded tires starting next year. Under the bill, any seller who refuses to collect the fee or any buyers who refuse to pay it are guilty of a misdemeanor. For more information on winter driving, you can visit the WashDOT website. Well, coming up next, Governor Inslee signs the first bill of the legislative session, House Bill 1064, which changes the voter-approved police accountability law, Initiative 940. U.S. Senator Patty Murray yesterday blocked a vote on a bill from pro-life Republican Senator Bill Sass of Nebraska that would stop after-birth abortions nationwide. And another early morning power outage knocked 380 Douglas County PUD customers off the grid this morning. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house, fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back. In another news, Governor Inslee signs the first bill of the legislative session, House Bill 1064. That changes the voter-approved police accountability law, Initiative 940. The revised measure resulted from efforts of a legislative task force to change the state's law pertaining to police use of deadly force. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett was a member of that task force. He says the bill tightens up the language on the good faith standard for use of deadly force.
They didn't talk about what's the definition of good faith. It was pretty generic. And also we wanted some things that actually put the pressure back on the agencies to say, are you training your people properly in the use of force and de-escalation, whether it's be crisis intervention, dealing with mentally ill and different persons like that. So a lot of different things that we wanted to bring into it, say it needs to put some of the responsibility, most of the responsibility back on the individual agencies. But again, how do we hold those individual agencies in a state perspective responsible for that? Some of the other things that it will bring will be independent shooting reviews when the use of force is used like that and we have a loss of life. That's something we're already set up here in Chelan County. So most of the things that either one of these bills is going to bring is not going to highly affect Chelan County or our local agencies if they're already training properly, and that's something Chelan County Sheriff's Office is currently doing.
The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs opposed I-940 but strongly support the clarifying bill many of them helped craft. However, some police union opposed both measures, including the Council of Metropolitan Police and Sheriffs, which warned in a statement that the new law would still put cops in an unsafe position. U.S. Senator Patty Murray yesterday blocked a vote on a bill from pro-life Republican Senator Ben Sass of Nebraska that would stop after-birth abortions nationwide. The legislation would prohibit leaving babies to die without medical care if they are born alive after a failed abortion. Sass described the procedure as infanticide. In brief comments on the Senate floor, Murray objected to the bill and claimed that the legislation is not necessary.
Mr. President, we have laws against infanticide in this country. This is a gross misinterpretation of the actual language of the bill that is being asked to be considered, and therefore I object.
Objection is heard.
With all due respect, Mr. President.
Senator from Nebraska.
to the senator from Washington, the bill that we're talking about before this body tonight is because New York and Virginia, New York already, and Virginia in debate are having a conversation about removing exactly these protections. This debate is about infanticide and infanticide only.
SASA's bill, the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, would penalize doctors who do not attempt to provide medical care to an infant born alive after an abortion with up to 5 years in prison. The bill also requires that an infant born in an abortion clinic be transferred to a hospital. Well, another early morning power outage knocked 380 Douglas County PUD customers off the grid this morning. Officials say the outage, which started at 1:30 a.m., was wind-related. The affected area included Brays Landing north of Orondo. Line crews made the repairs and electrical service was restored by 4:30 this morning. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Washington State Apple Blossom Festival's Royalty Selection Pageant is this Saturday. All this week on the NCWLIFE channel, we're featuring 2 candidates per night. NCWLIFE's Eric Granstrom has more.
First up is candidate Ellie Toth, the daughter of Andrew and Connie Toth.
I have an older brother and I have a younger sister who I go to for just about anything. I have a dog, his name's Walter, and he's the biggest cuddle buddy I think I've ever known. And then that's kind of my home life where I relax. And at school, I am involved with leadership. I'm vice president this year. And I also participate in soccer and track. And I try to go to clubs when I can.
Tell me about climbing Mount Adams.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
How did that come to be?
My dad is an avid climber. I don't even know how he started it, but he kind of dragged me into it, whether I wanted to or not. And that was 2 summers ago, I think, is when we did it. And at first, I don't think I really realized how big Mount Adams was. And so he came up to me and he just said, Ellie, do you want to go? And we can climb Mount Adams. It's going to be fun. It's just 2 days. And I just said yes. I didn't really think about it. And we started going up the mountain, and it's steep. It's very steep. And it was snowy, but I think when we finally summited and we got over to the top, I just kind of looked around, and I didn't realize really what I did, but I looked at my dad, and it was a really, really cool moment. And I think that's how we bond, my dad and I, kind of. And it was something I will forever be proud of because it took a lot of work.
Next up is candidate Citlali Gonzalez Arroyo, the daughter of Candelario and Albertina Gonzalez.
I really like my name, and I really like that it's connected to my culture and my family, which I absolutely love. I'm an Eastmont High School senior right now. I'm doing the Running Start program and the Fire Science Technical. skills program. Yes.
What is that? For people that don't know.
It's a fire science program that the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center has, and it's basically they teach from a really, really thick book, which you probably wouldn't think of. I didn't think of it before I went in, and it's things that a firefighter does, not just, you envision just a firefighter going into a fire and just,
taking a hose and
busting
putting it out. Yeah.
And it's not really what I thought. It's just as cool, but there is so much more to learn that you wouldn't expect.
It says in your bio that you also sign. You do sign language.
Yes.
Okay.
I love my sign language.
What has that taught you? Aside from learning how to do it, what has doing it taught you?
A lot. Truly, I think it's one of my passions for sure, and it's just being able to connect with people that don't really have that connection, because even though they do everything that a person that can hear does, they miss out on stuff.
The Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant is Saturday night at 6:30 from the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. Watch it live right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, let's take a look outside our beautiful weather window today and how it looked this afternoon up in the Lake Chelan area. We want to thank our friends at Sky5 for the Sky5 tower camera and this beautiful look at the Chelan Valley. Just a light dusting of snow on the hills around Lake Chelan. As I mentioned earlier in the news, not quite as much snow as what we received a couple of days ago, but still a little bit of dusting. And our weather today just featured some high clouds, some sunshine at times today, but not very warm temperature. I don't have to tell you it wasn't that warm out there today. Today was almost a carbon copy of yesterday temperature-wise. We started off on the cold side at 15 degrees. And look at that, we only got to 20 degrees this afternoon. Once again, 19 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Our overnight low, cold as well, 12 degrees below where we should be. 57, that was set last year for our third day in a row. I was thinking back, I really don't remember those beautiful days last year. Maybe you do, but 57 we'll take right now. Compared to that, won't we? Our record low was 1 below, set back in 1985. We did pick up 5/100ths of an inch of precipitation out of that last storm system, so our total precip for the year, just under 9/10 of an inch of moisture. 7:21, our sun came up this morning, and the sun set this afternoon at 5:09. Let's take a look now at what we can expect over the next 5 or 6 days. Tonight at 10 o'clock, mostly clear and cold. You can see the blue area. Those are temperatures mainly between 10 and 20 degrees. You get over into Montana and the kind of the lavender colors, that's where we're seeing below zero temperatures. As we move into Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we're going to see lots of sunshine tomorrow, calm winds, that's good news, but it's still going to be cold. You can see the blue and how far south this cold air extends all the way into northern Arizona and parts of northern Texas. Not much will change by 1 o'clock on Thursday. We'll see mostly sunny skies and once again, cold temperatures throughout the state of Washington. And then our next storm system begins to move in, especially by about 4 o'clock on Friday. Expect mostly cloudy skies, a 40% chance of snow and cold as this area of low pressure continues to move through the state. As we move into Friday night, an even better chance for snow here in the Wenatchee area. That goes up to an 80% chance for snow as this system just continues to move snow into our area. Maybe some wind too. You can see those isobars very tightly packed together, and that usually indicates windy spots, and we could see that on Saturday. So wind chills could be a factor as well. An 80% chance of snow and cold air, polar air, number 2 begins to move in on us on Saturday. That'll keep us awfully cold on Sunday once again with mostly cloudy skies. No precipitation per se on Sunday, but we will be cold, and then this area of low pressure will move down Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday next week. We're going to stay cold, and then we will see more snow showers. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to a very cold 12 degrees overnight here in the Wenatchee area. Sunny and cold for your Wednesday, high only 27. 11 degrees for the overnight low on Wednesday. Things begin to moderate, at least for our overnight lows as we move into the end of the week. mainly because we'll see more clouds, especially on Friday. A 40% chance of snow during the day on Friday. That goes up to an 80% chance for snow on Friday night. And we're going to stay a little bit snowy on Saturday with cloudy skies and 80% chance for snow and 26 for your weekend. Sunday, mostly cloudy and cold, and the same goes for Monday. Partly cloudy with continuing cold temperatures, 24 your high and 12 the overnight low. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at azchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, a happy Tuesday to you, and looking at the prep schedule for today. First of all, we need to start off with a score from last night as the Entiat girls were in action. They defeated Wilson Creek 58-24. Now, due to some heavy snowfall and treacherous roads in the Yakima Valley, that will prevent Eastmont and Wenatchee from playing their scheduled games for tonight. Instead, Eastmont will host Sunnyside tomorrow night at 5:45, while Wenatchee will travel to West Valley tomorrow night also at 5:45. Now, the Entiat girls will play tonight. They're on the road for back-to-back day games, well, night games, if you will. They tip time at 6 o'clock for their game at Easton. Now, turning to the boys' side, same story. With the treacherous road conditions in the Yakima Valley, everything will have to wait till tomorrow. So Eastmont and Wenatchee will have another day to prepare for their tests. Right now, the Wildcats are in good position to be in next week's district play-in game with a 4-7 record, but I'm sure they'd love to get a win and possibly be able to host a game for that play-in next Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee boys will be on the road for a battle for first place. They'll be taking on the West Valley Rams tomorrow night rather than tonight. Rams sit a game behind the Panthers in the standings. Wenatchee 9-1. West Valley is 8-2. Now, if Wenatchee's able to hold on and then get the win on Friday against Moses Lake, they would host the district championship of Wenatchee High School. They'd love to do that. By the way, with Wenatchee notching its first girls game win last Friday, the Panthers could get a win at West Valley and get some help from Davis beating Eisenhower. That would put them in a position to possibly make the playoffs going into their home game against Moses Lake on Friday. By the way, we will be at Wenatchee High School for that game Friday night. Obviously, our game tonight has been canceled for the broadcast. Caribou Trail League is out with its all-league basketball selections. We'll start off on the girls' side. Cashmere's All-World Junior Haley Van Lith is the player of the year. Her teammates Grace Erdman and Grace Hammond also on the first team, along with Chelan's Boo Huddleston. Area girls making the second team are Cashmere's Ellie Alberts, Chelan's Katie Rainville, and Lexi Gleesman, along with Cascade's Kaija Lovelady. Congratulations to Cascade's Dane Lumen, selected Coach of the Year. Okanagan, by the way, won the Team Sportsmanship Award. Looking at the Caribou Trail League All-League Boys selections, Cashmere's incredible sophomore Mason Landeck is the Player of the Year. First selections include Cashmere's sophomore sophomore Sam Phillips and Chelan senior Quinn Stamps. Area boys making the second team include Cashmere sophomore Nate Phillips, Cascade sophomore Isaac Cortez, and Chelan junior Connor Wilson. Coach of the Year honors goes to Cashmere's Levi Hyan, and the Sportsmanship Award goes to the Cascade Kodiaks. Way to go, boys. Taking a look at the updated NCWLIFE sports schedule for the week. So there you go. We're canceled for tonight. So no basketball tonight on the TV station. So let's see. Thursday night, hockey night, features the Wenatchee Wilds game from last Saturday against the Vernon Vipers. We'll be back at Wenatchee High School Friday with the Panthers celebrating senior night against the Moses Lake Chiefs. We'll have the girls on first at about 5:30, followed by the boys at 7:30. By the way, got word from Jim Beeson, the athletic director at Wenatchee High School. They'll do the senior night celebrations in between the girls game and the boys game. So we'll probably be doing a newscast about that on Friday night, so we won't have that on the broadcast. But if you are planning to go to the game to take part in senior night, then you know it's happening between the girls and the boys games. Hey, circling back to Sunday's Super Bowl, apparently the 53rd version of the NFL's championship drew the worst ratings in over a decade. According to the numbers, the game averaged a 44.9 rating in 56 markets measured by Nielsen. This according to the LA Times. That rating is down 5% from last year and lowest since 2008. According to Nielsen data, 98.2 million viewers tuned into the big game. CBS, which aired the game for the first time since 2006, counted streaming platform viewers, putting the total at 100.7 million. That number is still down from 105.4 million viewers who watched last year's Super Bowl. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And finally tonight, the first Cascade Mountain snowpack report of the year shows less than normal spring runoff for the north central Washington area. At their Monday meeting, Chelan County PUD commissioners received updates on snowpack and water supply forecasts for the Columbia River and Lake Chelan. The January through July Columbia River flow is forecast at 87% of average. Estimates for runoff into Lake Chelan from the February 1st snowpack survey is 80% for the first part of this year. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCWLIFE channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with guest host Eric Granstrom. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
Yes, we are live from Studio 2. And I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday today in history and birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. Expert is mine. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Obscure Dog to Work Day. Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. 662-6846.